booth here. We're at the ranch. We're sitting on the backhoe. We got a lot of work to do after this live stream. Just wanted to bring you guys along. We want to welcome Hosh back. Hosh is back from holidays.
Welcome back, Hosh.
Very South American of him, huh? Off on holidays. Very European.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, thanks for coming. We'll give a few people, we're just having a little bit of a live stream. Got some news to catch you up on. Along with Hosh being back, welcome back. You had a spectacular time.
Yeah, good to be back.
So, like a wise man, he left the desert Southwest and went to the Northeast. Yeah, in the winter.
Yeah, it's frigid.
Yeah, frigid. Yes, you saw cold temperatures. Yeah.
Single digits.
Yeah, of course, we're sitting outside right now, so.
As someone says hello from Canada, I'm sure it's a lot colder there, so we can't complain.
Yeah, we're going to piss you off now. It's about 55 degrees
nice.
right now, and really nice in the sun. We got Westward, of course, holding the camera and whatnot, and just wanted to bring everybody up to date on what's going on. It's just, we think we're going to have an early season this year with the bees. While Hosh was gone, as you know, Westward and I had a bunch of swarms. I mean swarms. Balls of bees in the middle of winter. And we've had so much moisture now. It just rained again last night. Or was it the night before? Even had snow and whatnot.
Yeah,
Rained all night long. And wet winter. Okay, that means flowers in the spring, of course, especially here in the desert Southwest. Other parts of the country, it's just something you can rely on and you get used to. Here, well, not so much anyway. And so, even though it's cold at night, okay, you're going to hate me, I know. It got down to 30, okay, last night. For around here, it's chilly, but it's this whole week we're going to be warm. We're expecting swarm calls, and we just wanted to let you guys know some current events and what's going on, and welcome Hosh back, and yeah, we're going to get ready for a good season.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have one. We're going to be dragging you guys along with. Now, I want to tell you about James. Here's an update with James, our buddy who got stung up down in Hereford a month ago. Something like that, maybe 5 weeks before Christmas. And he was the guy that was trimming trees and got stung up so bad and was hanging upside down for a half an hour. The man is alive. We're texting with him this morning. We are going to do a live stream with him and get the update on how he's doing and whatnot. He was talking stitches and staples and surgery and blood clots. He had blood clots. They lost count. The nurses at that banner up in Tucson, when they air vac him out there, medevaced him out, lost count of 1,645 stings.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of info out there about what happens physiologically when you get stung.
No one knows.
I mean, this guy's got blood clots.
Blood clots from bee venom, which I don't know. You know, I'm totally shocked and impressed with those doctors and nurses that kept him alive. First of all, and also James, if you're watching, man, you are Superman. I mean, you are alive. That is really holy shit shocking. I mean, it's going to be a long road ahead, as I'm preaching to the choir with James anyway. But that many stings. Okay, everybody, to put it in perspective, it takes about 500 stings to equal a rattlesnake bite.
Yeah.
Holy shit, right?
Yeah. There's about 4 bites for him.
Yeah, about 4. Yeah, full dose rattlesnake venom. So he was talking surgery on his legs to remove blood clots, and because you guys know I had that surgery on the back of my leg, that's all healed up and everything's good, and they got it all, so I'm really happy about that. I mean, in the text he was talking, like I said, stitches and 7 staples, and I mean, the guy, James, we're with you. Also, we got a GoFundMe page that we set up on it. We just posted to TikTok and YouTube the link for it. And so if you scroll through, you'll find the link to James's GoFundMe page. The poor guy is out. He's out of work. He's out of commission.
Yeah, this happened in Hereford, Arizona. People are asking where it took place.
It happened in Hereford about a month ago, and there were around 15 people got stung total, including the guy that ran up the roof barefoot. And you can see the interview with him also on TikTok and YouTube.
Hereford Hell Tree.
Yeah, Hereford Hell Tree is what the whole thing is called. And poor James, my God, got all the way up there and got that tree branch cut, actually, and then got attacked and screaming for 10 minutes out of half an hour. I tell you, buddy, I I hope you're watching, because you the man. We'll be talking with you soon. I'll text you in a little while here, but
Yeah, we interviewed the guy that saved him too. That was
yeah, we interviewed.
really deep
Yeah, we
interview.
interviewed.
Was that his name, Mark?
I believe
Yeah, Mark.
so.
Yeah, it was Mark. Yep, exactly. He took 120 stings to the head, they figured, something like that, and ran up the roof barefoot and got James down off the roof. Cut the harness to get him dropped into his arms, basically. Got him down the roof, got him down the ladder. EMTs showed up, both EMTs from Palominas and Bisbee. Shout out to you guys, superheroes.
Yes, Miss
Everybody got
Gary, he
stung.
is a hero for sure.
Everybody got stung. And then the helicopter lands in the field and got him, they're going to race him off, and everybody got stung there. 1,645 stings they lost count at. Right? I met a guy in Vegas that took 4,000 stings and wished he hadn't lived, actually. He was still, it was 10, 15 years later, and he was still just miserable. Sometimes, and I hope this doesn't happen with James, but it can exacerbate existing conditions. Now, like Hosh was saying a minute ago, what does happen when you get that much venom? No one really knows. There are no studies, because who do you study, it happens so rarely to get that many. Normally a few dozen stings, a couple hundred, but lose count at 1,600. Holy Lord Almighty. So we got a GoFundMe going for James. Bless your socks, man. You're amazing. No tree trimming for the next week for you, though.
Yeah.
At least, right?
Yeah, and I was out in PA with some of my family over the holidays, and one of the interesting things that I encountered was, so my parents, they got a place in the middle of Amish Mennonite country out there, and of course
Right.
beekeeping, that's a big pastime, amongst those peoples there, and my grandmother's caretaker's Mennonite. She was telling me,
How old is Grandma?
97.
Wow, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
But she was telling me that, they're aware of Africanization.
In the Amish community.
In the Amish community, they're aware of Africanization, and they're very concerned about it. She was
Yeah.
talking about their hives and how one of them's acting funny, and they're going to have to see in the spring whether they need to put it down.
Yeah.
The other guy was a larger apiary. I think he had like 36 hives. Was providing my dad with some honey, and they are Amish, and he said, yeah, they know all about it. They're aware of it, and they're concerned about it.
Yeah.
So, that's a group that they're not in denial about the reality here.
We have a viewer, Grandma Nisi, lives in Pennsylvania in an Amish community.
Oh, right on.
Interesting.
Welcome.
Yeah. So what do you know?
Yeah.
Share with
have
us
you,
what do you know
Yeah.
about
Have you
that?
heard anything about Africanization? They are, of course, in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
They killed a beekeeper in Connecticut. We have that stinging incident in Manchester, New Hampshire, right? And they don't skip over states. We keep talking about that. They didn't take a bus and say, we don't like Mississippi, we're going north, right? They're in all of the lower 48 states now.
Beth, we just joined. We've only been on 5 minutes, so you're good.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I'm Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy. Hosh is back, and Westward is on the camera, the Killer Bee team here, and we are getting ready for a big spring season for those of you just joining us. And we're talking about Amish country.
Are you
Yeah.
from Amish country?
Well, I mean, I was born in Central PA, but I didn't grow up there. So I grew up on the East Coast, up in New England.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so what do we see this year? We saw, big expansion into the South, right? Deep South, Florida,
Yep.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia.
Yep.
We heard a lot about that.
Yep.
We heard about the Midwest. We heard about Illinois. We heard
Illinois,
about
yeah.
Ohio.
A lot of trouble with small beekeepers,
Yeah.
beaks up there, yeah, in Illinois.
So
yeah.
the question is, what's next for this year, because
Yeah.
they're swarming.
And every spring in the 30 years I've been doing this down here, especially the first 10 or 15 years, it was kind of the same, more aggressive, and they were, definitely more aggressive. They started killing dogs and horses and people and whatnot. Now, though, the rate of adaptation that these guys are assuming is just out of this world, and so we don't know what to expect every single spring. What the hell are they going to do next?
Yeah.
Not only where would they build, like building honeycomb on tree limbs in front of God and everybody. European bees would never do that. Oh, we got a question?
I know people are still just joining,
Oh,
and
right on.
someone said host should be a narrator for audiobooks.
All right.
Back to you, host. That's right. We're talking about your bees.
You can narrate the bees. That'd be pretty good.
That would be. What do they say?
Yeah, they hate men.
Yeah, they
I
hate.
will
They,
say that.
they hate everyone. Okay, he just
They're
happens to
man
be
haters.
one. He just happens to be one. Well,
Extreme feminists.
They are feminine. Yeah, they are girls. They all are girls. That's for sure. They really don't differentiate.
Let's see. Patriot Beast wants to know what makes the bees so aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, really. You know, when they crossbred, I mean, that's a great question, Patriot Bees. Where are you out of? I don't think I've heard your handle before.
A lot of new people.
A lot of new
joining us.
people. Welcome, everyone, TikTok and YouTube. Keep joining us, please. I'm Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy. I'll say that a few times. Everybody join. We're at the ranch. We got a bunch of shit to do. We're sitting on the backhoe. And so anyway, what makes them so damn aggressive? Boy, isn't that the question? That's the $10,000 question right there.
Yeah.
It's more like 100,000, but
Yeah.
we don't know. When they first were crossbred, that's African with European bees, right? Crossbred on purpose in Brazil to make Africanized. Well, why the hell would they do that? Well, African bees, the pure African bees, were known to be excellent producers. And now they did not know when they crossbred them they were going to be so damned ornery. They did not know that, and that was back then. Now they're 1,000 times meaner than they even were 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, because it's an Africanized hive or an Africanized queen breeding with Africanized drones
over and over
and
again. Yep.
It's exponential. It seems to be.
And you know, people ask me all the time, won't that get bred out? Won't the meanness get bred out with all the crossbreeding? Well, it turns out even after all of these years, when they came into Arizona in the early 90s, I was keeping bees right here at the ranch, and we used to send all the samples of bees that we got, swarms and wild hives and whatever we got, up for testing to the laboratories in Tucson for testing a percentage of Africanization, because the Department of Agriculture, everybody was like, what the hell's going on? You know, we knew they were coming, but what's going on, how far north can they go, et cetera, was all unknown at that time. In the late 90s, they called me up and said, don't send anymore. It's 100%. So the genes, the African gene, even in the crossbreed, is still 96 to 98%. Dominant, way dominant. But there's just enough in that mix of the crossbreed, you know, that Chihuahua lost up the whole Rottweiler race. You know, Rottweilers used to be really nice and benign, and then damn Chihuahuas. Anyway.
Is it going to get to the point where people can no longer raise honeybees?
Well, it's gotten that way down here.
Yeah, I mean, your professionals are just going to keep going.
Oh,
the big apiaries, the big honey.
They raise everything in house. They raise their own queens and everything.
Yeah, they'll just keep doing that, and they're doing it in South America and Mexico and stuff.
Doing it. Now here, a prime example of why you shouldn't keep bees in Arizona is right here in Bisbee this last summer. If you watch Bees Gone Bad and World War B on YouTube, please look it up, because this gal, well-meaning and everything, but of course we know the highway to hell is paved with good intentions, right? She had a hive in Old Bisbee here, and this is why people can keep bees. I wouldn't keep them in town anymore. I would have a full suit, but she had a hive, third-generation beekeeper, knew what the hell she was doing, but did not cognize that these Africanized bees in the neighborhood, because they're all Africanized here, came in and took over her hive. And she had gone down there a couple of weeks before, correct? Yeah, something like that, and they were fine.
Yeah.
2 weeks later. So how that happens is, say within a mile radius, although it's usually a lot closer than that because there are hives everywhere, a stronger Africanized hive. Now I say stronger, and once again, not every Chihuahua is an ankle biter, just almost all of them. And every Africanized hive is different. And so some of them are meaner than others. So a really strong Africanized hive will come into your nice European hive, or a weaker Africanized hive, but let's talk about the kept hive. Come into her, she knows that's a European hive. They came in and they killed all the bees, and they will do one of two things at that point. They'll either steal all the honey and go home, they're total Vikings, or just move in. which is what happened with that situation up the gulch. And we got a call. We just happened to be at the end of the day. We'd done, I don't even know how many jobs that day, all over the damn county. And we got a call from neighbors. They said, "Can you get up the gulch right now? People are getting attacked. People can't get this lady into the ambulance." And so we raced up there. We happened to be 2 blocks away. Just happened to be.
Yeah.
And so we raced up there, and sure as shit, it was mayhem.
So where it's going is hobby beekeeping is probably going to go away.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's going to be able. And what's funny is that there's a real movement again. You know, and this resurges every couple of years. But hobby beekeeping is really being. You know, there's a lot of virtue signaling around that. Oh, you got a bee box in your backyard. You're doing good. You're helping things. Well, no, you're not.
Helping nature here in the Western Hemisphere.
Right. Number one, you're not. You're officially part of the problem at that point.
Right.
All you've done is set up a waylay station for killer bees to come through. That's number one. And they're an invasive species anyway. So
honeybees invasive.
You're crowding out native pollinators. But all of that aside, that's going to go away.
Yeah.
Because all of those you know, all those hobby boxes are taking
liability. I mean, they're waiting to happen. Almost unless you're really passionate about it, and you go down and check on your bees. Say you've got 1 or 2 hives, and you go down and check on them, you know, weekly. Even these days, you pretty much have to. And of course, you can't tell by looking.
Well, and you'd have to requeen at least weekly. And even then, that's no guarantee. Because it doesn't prevent the genocide effect.
Right, where the World War B, where they'll come in and just take over the Africanized bees. It's a real problem, and becoming a real problem. Like we did that live stream a while back, had that from Illinois. There's a lot of problem with small beekeepers in Illinois with aggression and whatnot, and everybody seemed to just ignore they could be Africanized. Oh, let's not talk about that. Back burner it or whatever, you know. Yeah. Well, it's going to be a pertinent subject because people die, okay? And so if there's an Africanized hive in your area, and I mean, you know, even a mile or 2 radius, and you're trying to keep bees, you got issues. Because if your bees swarm, now, nature's way of propagating the area with bees is swarming, of course, and all beaks know this. Normal European hive left to their own devices will swarm 5 or 6 times a year. Africanized up to 30 per hive, so there's a lot more of them and they're tougher. All right. So your nice hive, unless you're checking it all the time and you have entrance reducer so the queen can't get out to go, her wings are clipped, all this stuff. All right. Unless you do all of that, you're still not guaranteed they won't become Africanized.
Hi Jennifer. Hi Ramona. People would like to know if you still have a discount code going.
You know what? It ran out the first of the year. Give me about an hour, okay? And we'll put one up. And let's just stick with the old one for now, because everybody knew it. KBG #1. That's KBG, Killer Bee Guy. #1, not that spelled out. #1. So give me about an hour, guys. Thanks for asking. It ran out the first of the year, but I'll re-up it. So go to killerbeeguy.com. Yeah, and you can get some of that delicious honey, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen a bear up here?
Oh yeah. Yeah, not very often. In the Mule Mountains, the Mule Mountains is a very small range between the Chiricahuas and the Huachucas. And bears take a huge territory, bigger than lions. I mean, I see mountain lions up here. But a bear, there is a couple of bears that we know of that will cross the mules to go the 50 miles from one range to the other, which for them 50 miles ain't nothing, you know. And so I personally have not seen a bear in these mountains. I've seen them in plenty of all the other mountains out hunting and elk hunting up north, of course. But
will it eat the Africanized honey?
Oh God, yeah. Well, this is now. I can guarantee you that these damned Africanized bees are going to be a test for anything.
Yeah, I think they, remember the myth, and it is, a lot of this is mythology and children's stories. When you see the bear getting into the honeybee hive, what kind of honeybees are they? They don't have the rates of aggression of these African.
Well, they're Winnie the Pooh bees.
Winnie the Pooh bees. So that's not what these are. And so if you ever see any of our videos where they're attacking the stuffed animals.
The dark furry things. Here we go. The penguin, my fave. Or the beaver. Oh hell, all of them. I just sweet.
I can't believe those dolls are still alive.
You got all of those stuffed animals are still stuffed animals.
The only survivors of the.
The only survivors of the onslaught. It's that's actually a hawk up there. I don't think we'll be able to see it.
We'll try.
We'll try. We've got the
A
vultures
vulture.
are all gone. The
No?
vultures fly south for the
Oh.
winter, so that's actually a hawk.
I don't know if you guys can see the hawk. I'm trying. It's in the distance.
That's
Beautiful.
pretty big. It could be an eagle. We do.
So
have,
no bears, but hawks.
We do have. There. It's a killer hawk. We do have some golden eagles up here. Actually, this is really the Wild West. A lot of expanse, a lot of territory, and we have. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but all the way from over into New Mexico, and then you've got Portal and the Chiricahuas and Cave Creek, birding country, world-class birding country, all the way from there over to Patagonia, where Hosh used to live, over to Nogales. This is a prime migratory route for endless species of birds. And near here, we're going to do a little tour. We want to bring you guys along on now that it's warming up. I know you're going to hate me. It's warming up. It'll be in the 60s. I don't do anything outside unless it is. We're going to go out to Whitewater Draw. So you can look that up. Whitewater Draw is a very, very special place. We're going to try to live stream it out there. Tens of thousands of sandhill cranes, all sorts of different species of birds. It's a huge-ass body of water that's about that deep. I mean, literally. And so a great nesting area for all these birds and whatnot. So this is the Wild West. The bears, there are more bears in the bigger mountain ranges, Chiricahuas and Huachucas. Lions, I've seen them up here when I used to have chickens and ducks and geese. The last lion I saw was just a few years ago, and I only had a couple of ducks and a goose left. She would sit up on the mountain up here and wait for me to go to bed for the buffet to open. I mean, literally. I'd shine the light up there. She'd be halfway up the hill. I'd see her sitting there on the rock. I'd be like, oh, God, I hope they put the chickens up all right. And so one morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, I heard a commotion out by the sliding glass door. It was a full moon. I was like, oh, fuck. And I open up the door and I look, and there's a wounded duck and a dead goose. And I'm like, oh, great. What now? And I went out and I got down on one knee to see what was going on. And I looked up, and here's her nose right there, full grown. Mountain lion.
Wow.
And I mean, I've raised African lions and shit, and you know, I have Savannah cats and whatnot. And I knew her by name, you know. So I actually looked at her. She was right there, and she just looked at me, and I looked at her, and I said, "You want some cat food or something?" You know. And she just turned around and walked up the hill. And then about a month later, I had one rabbit left. She'd gotten the damn everything else. One rabbit that I would put in a cage at night out by the door. And I heard another commotion a month later, and I went and looked, and she had babies. That mountain lion had babies up on the mountain. I did not know this. Here's a juvenile, this big, playing with the cage with the rabbit in it, my last. Like it was a toy. Oh, God, I love them. It's living in the wild out here, guys. It really is. Ringtails, coatamundis, javelina all over the damn place. You know, it's crazy. And killer bees, did I mention?
Yeah. Hey, Dean, he was talking about Whitewater Draw and then Portal.
Portal, Cave Creek. Okay, Portal means door. It's a little tiny town up in the mountain that leads to Cave Creek, and major birding area, absolutely spectacular. If you Google it and look it up, we've done a shitload of removals out there. Portal to hell.
Yeah, and of course you're going to do and we'll live stream this, but
we're gonna
do the talk up there
on the 21st. 21st, it's Saturday. We're going to do an educational thing for the fire department and all the first responders in that valley, and San Simon Valley, and Portal and that whole area. And then at 2:30 our time, we're going to open up to the public, and it's going to be at the fire station. We're going to live stream it. We have a PowerPoint presentation. I think you guys will really get a kick out of it. A lot of education, a lot of info in a short period of time, because when I get going, I talk too fast, and I'm highly irreverent, so tough shit.
Hi, Elusive JC. She's a killer bee lady from Arizona.
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
Welcome.
What's it mean?
What's it mean?
Yeah, tell us what you're doing and where you are.
Exact. Welcome. It's so nice to hear from you. What part of the state are you in? We're in a state of confusion.
Safford.
Oh, Safford. Welcome. Oh, well, hell. I had to teach a class. I teach for, I don't know if you came to my class or not. I teach for the Department of Agriculture, Pest Management Division, of course, right? Because they're really coming down on unlicensed exterminators and people that do pest removal or landscaping and whatnot. They're really coming down on them, so be careful. But welcome. What's the situation at Safford? All right, now for everybody out there, Safford is big farming country. I mean huge. And every time that we get a shitload of honey from up in there when we do bees up there, like Wilcox. farm country, right? So what's your situation up there? And what was her name besides Killer Bee Girl?
Oh, the elusive JC.
Elusive JC.
I like it.
That is awesome. I'm the not so elusive Reed.
Have we ever met on the live streams any other people that work with killer bees, or is she the first one?
Oh boy.
There was a woman from California
Oh.
that claimed to be relocating them onto her property.
Oh,
And
But-
requeening and all that shit.
Yeah, but I'm curious if she exterminates or relocates or
Yeah,
what
what do you do, Elusive? God, I love that. That's such a great name. My God. I mean, we kill them. I mean, that's it. You know, and the reason is, of course, obvious to someone who works with them. I always tell people, because people still ask to this day, are you going to relocate my bees? Because, of course, everybody thinks we need the bees to stay alive. We'll clarify that in a second, okay? I always tell people it'll be like taking a bomb, a landmine from your yard and putting it in someone else's. Now, when you're getting 10 to 15 calls a day for bee removal here in the county, we're not driving them out in the middle of bumfuck to release them. Also, we might get shot these days because no rancher's going to take them. All the, Department of Interior, everybody, BLM, nobody wants them. They said, don't you dare bring these things here.
she's an exterminator, but specializes in killer bees and has a contract with her town and county for emergencies.
Yay! Awesome!
Bless you, that's so great.
Bless
she
your
exterminates.
Bless your socks. Yeah, exterminate. Thank you.
Smart.
Yep, smart. Because again, taking them now, requeening. Of course, when I'm talking to Elusive JC, I'm preaching to the choir. She already knows most of this stuff, I'm sure. Requeening is a temporary fix here, especially in the desert Southwest. Temporary fix, because you can requeen your damn bees every week, and that does not guarantee that an Africanized hive is not going to come in and kill all your bees and move in. And we've seen it over and over again. So, yeah, exterminate. Also, and I'm sure you do catch some flack for this, let me know, Elusive, because, but we need the bees to live. Oh, we're going to starve when you kill all the bees.
One third of all your food comes from honeybees.
Yeah, oh, bullshit. None of our grain is pollinated, you know. Very few of our nuts. It's only the some melons. There are certain things. Big
All the
agriculture.
time she said yes.
She gets flack. Yep, of course she does.
She's
Yep.
bad.
Yeah. Okay, now get this, and you can use this. And when we go up, I don't know, you probably know about Mobile Training Solutions. Jason and Linda up in Tucson, good friends. We put together, the PowerPoint presentation and all that. So I hope you've seen it. Or anyway, if you ever get a chance to go to their training, their continuing education for the licensing, I might be there. It'd be nice to meet you. Honeybees are invasive to the Western Hemisphere. They don't belong here. All right, they were brought here. What are they called again? The nice bees?
European. European.
European? No, I'm not. I'm just dribbling a little. European. Yeah, you're a peon. Oh my God, they're European. They're invasive to the Western Hemisphere. They don't belong here, guys. There were no honeybees. And Elusive, you can use this. Please do. Because these people that are naysayers and think that we're Satan, right, of course, for killing the damn things, there were no honeybees in the state of Arizona until 1872. If you go ahead and look on especially our YouTube, the end of our YouTube videos, we have a map. Coolest map I've ever seen, because it shows the United States, and it shows the invasion of European honeybees from east to west. Cool as hell, right? Invasion. Native Americans hated them so much they called them white man's flies. Yeah, and that was the nice bees. The European, right? So, of course, now we have these damned Africanized bees. And are they meaner than hell, Elusive, or what? If you're still on, and I hope you are, it'd be wonderful to meet you someday if you ever come down to Bisbee. Of course, you know Bisbee. Oh, boy. It's a great, exciting party town. So, anyway.
Hi, Liam in Scotland. Thanks for joining.
Huh?
Safford's near Phoenix.
No, Safford is actually north.
No, it's out there. It's where the hot springs are.
Yeah, it's where the hot springs are. Exactly. Yep, exactly. The base of the mountain there with the observatory and all that. I've been fishing up at that pond at the end. And anyway, how's the aggression up there in Safford with these bees? Probably the same as here. I mean, they got to be. They're not nice, right? Elusive. They're just meaner than hell. Every week in Cochise County in the summer, on average, they kill a dog, a horse, or a goat. And we have way too many ranchers, way too many people getting attacked. Like we were just talking about James. down in
Oh,
Hereford.
wow.
For those of you just joining us,
Yeah.
James, our buddy, he's our buddy now, that's for sure. He was hanging upside down for a half an hour, 60 foot off the ground after trimming a tree and got into him a month ago.
Well, how many, the tree trimmers, the landscapers, how many tree trimmers, how many landscapers did we, see this year
Oh my
that were
God.
nearly killed?
Oh my God. Oh.
Right?
Uh,
I mean,
dozens.
you've got Austin up there in Ripley,
Right.
Ohio.
Yep.
You've got that gentleman,
Same thing.
he
In
died
Texas.
outside of Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Right.
Died.
Right.
Was killed in the harness.
In the harness, swinging upside down, kind of like just like
Horrible.
James. James, you're alive. You're a son of a gun, man.
Yeah, and then James, and then of
they-
course, not to mention people weed whacking and stuff.
Oh
this
my God,
year.
endless.
How many?
Endless, dozens.
It's number one.
Dozens
So
of-
that's the real tragedy, is your landscapers really
Yeah.
get the brunt of this. I
Yep.
think.
Well, yeah, that and people that don't take care of it when they know they have a hive on the damn property, right? Now, elusive, you can use this. This is an actual Arizona statute. It's a revised ARS 36-601. I helped write the damn thing, and it states that if you have a feral, unmanaged hive on your property of honeybees, you legally have to have it removed. Please write that down, elusive 36-601. We've had the Cochise County Health Department get involved with nuisance hives or even potentially nuisance hives. If a neighbor knows, we always say now, if your neighbor has bees, you have bees. Period. They don't know fences and boundaries. They're going to spit out 30 new hives a year. They're going to attack the neighbor's dog or your dog. And so it'd be interesting to hear, elusive up there in Safford, what kind of aggression you're finding with these
She
hives.
said they are aggressive.
Yeah, meaner than shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch some of our videos, and I don't know if you have or not, Portal to Hell comes to mind. Of course, World War B. We're on. Go to YouTube. All of our full-length vids are on YouTube, and so we have endless videos. I mean, like almost 500, right?
Oh yeah.
500 on YouTube, over 1,500 on TikTok now, and it's not ending. It's not stopping. It just isn't. So, does anybody have any questions for us? I'm Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy. We've got Hosh buzzing around over here, westward on the cameras.
Hi guys, we have some viewers from Canada, from Kentucky.
Right on.
People are just saying hello and still joining. A
You
few
know-
people asked if you deal with murder hornets.
You know, I have not. Okay, I got a fun one on murder hornets. All right. About 3.5 years ago, I did a show with a Japanese film crew, and they flew their bee expert out here. He's a beekeeper in the highlands of Japan, Susumu, and they flew their film crew out here. All of his equipment also, because although he's a beekeeper, he fights murder hornets in Japan. That's where they're endemic. That's where they're from, and they are huge. All right, as you guys know, and they not only can sting you, but they spit venom that can blind you. He had a whole different setup that he made for himself. Shield, I mean, all sorts of different stuff. Not protective enough for these killer bees, though. Because I had those guys for a week. And, of course, they didn't bring any killer bee, or murder hornets with them. I mean, good grief, it was his experience they were bringing with. And so I had those guys for a week and had these horrible removals all set up. And you can actually see it on YouTube. It's called Konnichiwa bees. It's the behind the scenes. Look into that, few days with those guys. After one day, Susumu looked at his translator, the director, and in Japanese said, "It's his show.
Yeah.
It's his show."
Yeah. The bees were getting in through their fan bed.
Yeah, he had ventilation. It almost killed the cameraman. It was a bit much. It really was.
But we don't get them here in Arizona, right? Murder
Pardon?
hornets? We don't get them
No.
here.
Not at this
No.
point. It's too hot here.
Well,
They
he used
don't
to
like
say it
the
was too
heat.
cold for killer bees too.
Right.
I don't know what. Now, of course, the good news is murder hornets cannot become Africanized. So there. We got one good thing going for us, right?
How would you safely try beekeeping for the first time or to gather honey?
Get a really good suit.
Yeah. Don't.
Just
Don't.
Well,
Just
don't.
let it go. Just let it go.
buy honey.
It's not relevant.
Plant
It's
a
not
garden.
It's not
You
a
know what?
relevant practice.
It actually does not do good for your native environment in the Western Hemisphere.
Contrary to popular propaganda.
That's right. They always say, "Oh, put a beehive in your backyard. They'll pollinate everything. It'll help so much." No, it won't. If you're competing with native pollinators. That's right. Honeybees do not belong here. They are, in fact, with Africanization, they are responsible for driving to or near extinction a lot of our native pollinators. No, honeybees are a big lie. They're a biggest lie. Now, of course, they're adorable, or they used to be, right? European bees. They give us honey, and they would pollinate our fruit trees and gardens, which are mostly invasive. And of course, big agriculture. Definitely need them for them. Now, they're not going away. Don't get me wrong. We've had people come on and say, "Oh, you're gonna kill all the bees." They're like, "Yeah, right. I'm gonna kill all the flies and mosquitoes too."
Yeah.
Which I'd be a lot
Please
more
do.
They're not.
Please do. Yeah, right.
They're not endangered. They're not an endangered species.
They're not endangered. They're not.
Bumblebees are endangered.
Bumblebees are endangered
A lot of the
in
native
part
pollinators.
because of Africanization of honeybees, because they compete for food and housing with native pollinators.
Right.
So, yeah, don't keep bees. You're doing disservice to your local environment,
Yep.
your native plants, your native flora and fauna by keeping honeybees. I know it's
Hi,
a total
Roland in
suck.
North Carolina. Your bees are Africanized there, so he's asking if he should do that there.
Yeah, no, they're definitely Africanized in North Carolina. They killed a beekeeper in Connecticut, for God's sake, everyone.
Yeah. So I wanted to remind you, Reed, we got a little special gift over the holidays. I don't know if you wanted to
I would love
show our lovely
to-
viewers.
Now, we got, oh God, I hope that Linda is on. Okay, we got this nice package here from Linda, and you know, it was all hand labeled and everything. And we got to opening it up, and while I'm showing everyone what Linda sent us from California, and I really hope you're watching because we absolutely love you, I don't have my readers on, so I'm going to have Hosh read the note that Linda sent for us. These are presents for us for Christmas. We love you, Linda. Thank you so much. So, we'll let Hosh get started here.
All right, she writes, "Dear Reed, Hosh, and the Killer Bee Honey crew, you folks all do an amazing job. Thank you for all that you do. I have followed your exploits and adventures on YouTube for about a year and have viewed about 95% of your videos.
Well, you're slacking. Get only 95. I love
Let
you.
us know if you're on right now, Linda.
Yeah, let us know if you're on. We love you. Oh my goodness.
Upon evaluation of your process, I have located some tools that may be of some use to you and have enclosed them. The black spatula could be cut down and melted, and the metal one, the black spatula could be cut down and the metal one could be ground and sharpened if needed. It's like prison shanks.
Jesus Christ Almighty.
Like,
We're gonna get out of this alive, thanks to Linda. That's for sure.
The art paint spatula,
Oh, here we go. Now, I don't know which is which.
they're
'cause
for
we have-
Hosh, for when he is removing dead bees from the honeycomb.
Which actually, now that we have another one here. Hold on, I gotta set this stuff down on the back. Oh, you guys, I dropped the package. All right, so we got another one here. Let's see what this one does.
These might keep him from being stung on his tender little fingers.
Oh,
let me see
hey,
those
you got
tender
something,
fingers,
something
Dave.
hanging out of your nose here. Everybody help me get that, would you? Linda, it's actually not a bad idea,
Yeah.
you know, for flicking bees off of the comb.
Oh yeah.
Those are pretty great.
It's actually a pretty damn good idea. I kind of like it. Oh, I think we got another one here. Nope, I dug it out.
If you can't use them in your work, I'm sure you can find a good home for them.
Yeah, like in my kitchen if we don't use them for that. I mean, when we get into it in the season, I'm kind of thinking maybe something might be okay like this. I kind of like something like this idea. We got some strainer action here when we're warming up honey to because we have to scoop bees out. That's the way it is, you know. I got a let's see, we had a comment on that vid that you put up on TikTok this morning. Somebody's husband or something got the raspberry honey butter and got a bee leg in it.
Yes.
Woo! Can't get more wild than that, right?
And we can use these to take the bee legs out of the honey.
The entire bees.
Hi, Reagan. I love when you post that little GIF. It's so funny. Thank you.
Oh, is
Reagan's
that
on.
Levi? That's
No,
Levi.
Reagan.
Well,
yeah, with
it's Levi, though.
the swollen picture of
Yeah.
your face.
The swollen picture. My favorite. And of course,
Makes me laugh.
if someone misbehaves, they get the Aunt Jemima treatment.
Yes. Thank you.
Ow.
Yeah, that's Levi. Hey, Levi.
All right.
Let's see. Please enjoy the winter season with your families and friends. Stay warm and safe. Respectfully submitted, Linda Grant.
Linda.
Thank you,
we
Linda.
love you so much. Thank you for all that good stuff.
So cute.
What fun, you guys, huh? My goodness sake.
Gosh.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. We love bringing you guys along with us on our exploits and our shenanigans. We never know what we're doing from day to day.
No.
We never know what the hell we're doing next. It's always something weird.
But-
Today we're getting on the backhoe. Host is going to get on the Bobcat. We got a bunch of work to do up here at the ranch. And I was Westward was like, "That's a good look. Let me grab the camera so we do a little live stream with you guys." It's like, why not? Because we're talking about killer bees, and they are everywhere. They are in all the lower 48 states. You people from Canada, they're in Alberta. What the hell, right? Now they're not in Europe, thank God. Okay, Ireland and England, you're good for now. Hope you stay that way, unless, of course, if you get them in Ireland, I might have to come for a wee bit of a visit then, you know. Probably won't come back. Give me a couple more years, I think. Yeah. So, anyway, thank you guys so much. Go to killerbeeguy.com and get some honey, of course. Yeah, we got a lot of shit to do here at the ranch while the sun's still shining. Anybody got any last minute questions for us, Westford?
Do you have any cherry honey?
You know, I do not. Interesting. Cherry honey.
Would be good.
I mean, I
yum.
tried peach. I called it peachy keen, and nobody couldn't sell it. So what the hell is that about? You'd think, wouldn't you? The vanilla and maple do really well. The lemon and orange, of course, are big hits. In fact, the lemon and orange I like on chicken as a glaze. It's not just for breakfast anymore.
And your honey mustard.
Oh, the
that's
mustards,
so
yeah, the
good.
honey mustards. Because, you know, they're all my own recipes. Been doing it for 30 years. Everything's hand poured, hand labeled, everything, you know. Got our commercial kitchen right here on the ranch, actually. So, yeah, go to killerbeeguy.com and get some honey. And we love you guys. Thanks so much for coming along. And we'll talk to you really, really soon. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.